Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Coffee Chat with Lindsey and Neely.
Hey, y'all.
We
How's
were
it
just
going?
talking about how we match again today. We got the
We
same vibe.
coordinate so well. Like we
So
just
perfect.
really do it. It's
We
so
could
great
take a family photo together right now and it would look perfect.
all the time. I mean, we are practically family, so that's
true. True. What are you drinking this morning?
So I just have some coffee in here. It's black coffee, but you can't tell that because the color of my lid it's lived a lot of life, to be honest. So for mine, it looks a little wonky, but it's just some black coffee right there. That's
Excellent.
what it is.
I have my coffee with cream. And Jen is drinking salty.
Excellent. What flavor, Jen? Oh, I do have salty as well. I've got booyah berry in my water cup.
I have Element in my water cup.
Very cool.
Cheryl is drinking coffee with cream as well.
Yummy, yummy.
Let's see. Lynette is here. Good morning. Rickwin is here. Hello, coffee drinkers. And,
non-coffee drinkers.
Those that are not coffee drinkers, we are inclusive here. We won't kick you out.
That's right.
Becky is here. Good morning. Jen says it is 1 a.m. here. What does that mean? I'm struggling to understand.
It's 1 p.m.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, because I said good morning. Maybe that's what it is.
It's highly possible.
Yes. Well, good afternoon.
We just Occam razored that.
Sing it. Oh, yes. She says PM right here. Sing It is here. Good morning or afternoon or evening, wherever you are. Suzanne is here. Hello. Let's see who else. Sylvia is here and Ellie is here. Good morning. She made it on time. So did we. I always am so proud of us when we make it on time.
Listen, it gets to be a little bit sketchy right now. So my oldest has riding lessons, horse riding lessons. And she, so the lessons are supposed to end at 12:30, but you don't just like hop off of a horse and call it quits.
No.
There's some process on the back end of that. And here lately, it seems like the process is like dragging a little bit longer. And I'm like, here's the thing. If we're going to make this work, I'm going to need you to actually get out of the arena at this time. And then let's take care of like the dismantling process. And she's like, I'm trying. And I'm like, yep, you're trying. You are very, very much so trying.
Children are such a joy.
It's good though. It's good. She enjoys it. And I'm much obliged to take her. And it's great that the actual stable is only, like 8 minutes up the road from us. So it's not terrible, but also whenever it hits like 12:50, I'm like, okay,
let's move.
We're all done because I don't know if they're doing construction on this road or what they're doing.
And Maria's here from Arizona. She says it's beautiful today. That sounds nice. I keep wishing my coffee was warmer.
Aw.
It's so cold up here. Suzanne is finishing her morning coffee. Becky says RX sugar fruit punch in my drink. That's
interesting.
Fun. Very fun.
So is the RX that's the one. Is that just kind of similar to like one of those Mio water enhancers, or is it an electrolyte mix?
It's not an electrolyte and it's not liquid, it's powdered. So it's just like a flavored drink packet.
Okay.
Like Kool-Aid or something.
Very cool.
Yeah, actually I find I don't love it as a drink because I'm so used to electrolytes where if it's not really salty, I don't like it anymore. But it tastes amazing as like a pixie stick. Just like off your hand. Like the kids love it.
Yeah.
They have a whole bunch of different flavors. It's like a variety pack. They're really good. And yeah, if you're trying to get that allulose effect, like the GLP-1, appetite thing, it's a great option to have those little packets. Anyways.
I definitely at some point need to order some of those just to try them out.
They're fun. Oh, I heard they told me, they're coming out with gummy bears or some kind of gummy candy soon. And I was like, "Ooh, that sounds good." An allulose gummy candy rather than like erythritol or something else. That appeals to me.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Blaze is here. Hello. Infinitely Blessed is here. Marie says making hot coffee and wishing it was truly fall here. Gonna be 90 plus today. Yeah.
So I went through and I was watching one of my old What I Eat in a Day videos because apparently I'm, an egoist.
It's just research.
And I was like, oh, it was one of the ones where it had snowed. And I was just like, snow, it's coming. It was so ridiculous. It was so ridiculous how happy it made me to just see the video of the snow in my backyard and just see the sunrise over this. I was like, snow is coming. I can't wait. It's happening. It's happening. So
It is.
I agree. Wishing that it was cooler is my jam.
Yeah. Yeah. Here, I mean, we don't get a lot of snow. It's an occasional snow here, so there's no guarantees for us.
Right.
But it's definitely getting colder. I'm feeling it.
Well, we had a little bit of a cold snap and now we're back to a heat wave and I'm not interested in it any longer. It's supposed to be something like 70 something, maybe 75 today is the high.
That sounds amazing.
I'm not okay with it. I'm like, you know what? There were this is how I know it's really me. It's like I woke up maybe last week sometime and I come out of the bedroom, go into the kitchen and I look and our little thermometer for our outdoor thermometer said it was 36 degrees. And I was like, it's happening. It's happening. I'm excited. I'm excited for it.
I'm so glad. Jen says they're having an Indian summer, 75 degrees now. It was in the mid 80s yesterday. I want the fall back. Yeah.
I mean, if we could skip fall, I would happily just hop right into winter with all the snow.
Yes. Yeah, Becky is talking about the RX sugar. It says it's a packet, very high in carbs, but it's allulose. I like it with salt. I haven't tried having it with salt added. I bet that would be good. It also might be a good way to like use up my unflavored electrolytes, since I don't typically drink unflavored electrolytes. So
right. Yeah.
To use them up.
I really like adding like a half teaspoon of black cocoa powder and like a couple of drops of some monk fruit sweetener to the clean slate or to the raw salt packets.
And then you got your chocolate.
Hot chocolate right there. And it's black cocoa. So it's more like an Oreo cookie. I like it.
That is different. Do you put any like cream or anything, or do you just drink it?
I'll do it either way, to be honest. Usually it's like an evening thing. And I will admit, I choose to use the flavored, like the chocolate flavors of the different electrolytes over going to the raw or the clean slate, just because it's a lot more like fast. It's a lot faster.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So it's like
Rip it open, pour it in.
I mean, I don't have to pull out 2 to 3 more ingredients. I'm here for that. But also when I'm all the way out of all of my chocolate flavors, I'm like, I can't wait for the next shipment isn't here yet. I need to use up these and do it that way. And I'm always pleasantly like surprised at how much I remember loving it. So I love Oreo. Let's do it.
Yeah. And for anyone that's curious, Elements chocolate medley pack will be back on sale on the 29th.
Ooh.
It was supposed to go on sale yesterday, but for some reason they had to push it back. So a week later. So the 29th, it'll be back. It's the same as last year with the chocolate raspberry, mint chocolate, and chocolate chai.
Okay.
So that will be available.
Of the 5 different flavors from Element that are chocolate related, which is your favorite?
Chocolate caramel.
I appreciate that you and I are on polar opposites for this one. That is my least favorite of all of the chocolate.
I knew it. And let me guess, your favorite is chocolate mint.
Yes.
Yes, I knew it.
But
Yes.
chocolate raspberry holds a special place in my taste buds too. I
Yeah.
really dig the whole like having like the berry with the chocolate. I like that a lot. I kind of want to mix some orange salt with some chocolate salt
Yeah, chocolate
and do
orange,
that.
that would be good. That would be really good. Yeah, so I like the chocolate caramel, I'd say the best, but I feel like they're also different. That
That's that's fair.
sometimes I'm in the mood for a mint chocolate. Sometimes I'm in the mood for a raspberry chocolate. Like, that's legitimate. I don't always want caramel. I want variety.
I I will absolutely avoid the chocolate caramel at all costs
Okay. All right. Well,
and give them to
send it my
Jared.
way.
Jared loves the chocolate caramel flavor.
Right.
He loves the caramel vibes from
Uh-huh.
Salty. So like this last go around when I reordered all of our salties, I got one that was the chocolate combo.
Mhm.
And I was like, but I also ordered one that was just Coco Loco because I'm like, I need plain chocolate
Mhm.
for me. But then I
Mhm.
know he wants caramel vibes, but I know he doesn't drink them as fast as I drink them. So maybe
You're, like,
we'll.
doing all the calculation. You're like that meme with the whole, like, board in the background with all the calculations.
That's it. If I do this and then this, then
Yes.
that.
It'll be perfect. Oh, goodness. Crystal is here. Hello. Let's see who else. Suzanne says it's sunny here in Utah, but the sun hasn't warmed up past the mid 50s yet.
Nice.
Yep. Rickwin says here it is almost November and I have yet to get out any winter clothing. Yeah, I need to do the same thing. It's back in the 80s here in Georgia and the trees are still green. Looking forward to cooler weather. Yep. Well, enjoy the sunshine while you have it. Because, once you get a couple months into not as much sunshine, you really miss it. At least I do. And it's good for you.
I miss so my favorite type of winter is actually like clear skies whenever it's so cold that the water molecules can't form clouds, but then there's packed like 6 feet of snow and the sunshine glitters on the snow and it looks just like sparkly
Nice.
and
Yeah.
wonderful. And I'm like, that's my kind of winter. Not gray,
Yeah.
drab, like not frozen water. I need it to be and I really need it to be snow and sun
Yes.
all together.
I understand. Suzanne says, I mix the Element chocolate caramel with the KetoChow chocolate with a little cream. Yeah, I like that too. When I make a hot chocolate, I
Yeah.
need to have a little bit of the salty electrolyte in there, and it just takes it to the next level. It's so good.
Well, the thing I like about the chocolate in the Coco Loco from Salty is it's more of like a rich milk chocolate. And what
Mm.
I like about the Element chocolate is that it's a little bit of a darker chocolate. So
Mhm.
I can imagine like mixing those together would
Mhm.
be quite tasty. Give you
Yes,
a complex chocolate experience.
it's true. Element or Salty need to make a chocolate hazelnut. I agree.
Oh,
That's really
1000%.
good. I think a chocolate orange would be good, although you can make that yourself. And
Yeah, you
then
can DIY.
I really would like them to make a like cayenne chocolate, like a spicy chocolate.
Mexican chocolate.
I mean, I don't know why they don't just hire me on for ideas, but
Maybe it's in the works.
yeah, yeah. I mean, and a cinnamon chocolate would be good, except they already have the chocolate chai, which is
Right. No, it needs
already
to be the
kind of
cayenne.
yeah. I think like
Well,
just because they already have the spicy, mango chili, so just make
right.
it chocolate.
Right. Right. I also like I'm thinking about the Mexican hot chocolate from Perfect Keto, the beauty plus collagen sleep, but it's
Mm,
the hot chocolate,
yes.
the Mexican hot chocolate version. Like to me, it's good, but you have to have that cayenne heat to really
Yes.
make it feel like it's like a true Mexican chocolate to me.
Yeah, that one I didn't feel like lived up to its name. It was a good hot chocolate,
Yes.
but it wasn't very cinnamony. It wasn't spicy. So I don't
Yeah.
know what was Mexican about it. Yeah, Sing It says 5 flavors. What? Okay, so there's chocolate. This is the Element chocolate flavors. Chocolate, chocolate caramel, and then the medley pack has 3 flavors in it, and that's chocolate mint, chocolate raspberry, and chocolate chai. 5. Yeah, they have a good variety in their their warm flavors. I do wonder if any of the Electrolyte companies will do warm flavors besides chocolate. Because everything's chocolate. Because you
Well,
could do like a chai tea flavor that's not chocolate, or
I
even a caramel flavor that's not chocolate.
I see exactly what you mean. I was sitting here thinking like, well, I've used all of the different flavors of the fruity ones as like hot tea, so to speak. When
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like you still want something soothing on your throat, but you want it to not
Mhm.
be quite so like okay, so I know the texture is not different between the chocolate flavors and the fruity flavors when it comes to any of these electrolyte companies. Like the viscosity is still the same regardless. But there's something about that chocolate that tends to make it feel more velvety, even
Yeah,
if you don't
richer.
add cream. So sometimes you want more of like the tea kind of a viscosity
Mhm.
rather than a like a hot chocolatey kind of viscosity. I'm going to say viscosity at least 4 more times.
Please
So
do.
start a tally mark. But using it as like kind of like in place of like a Theraflu or a fruit tea or something to that effect, they're pretty tasty like that.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
don't sleep on
yeah.
those.
Suzanne and Becky agree that Mexican chocolate would be good. I need to try just, taking the chocolate and adding a
Add a dash
shaker
of
of cinnamon and cayenne and call it good. We could just make it into a recipe.
100%. Do it.
Singing is starving right now, but we will help her get to 1 p.m. lunchtime. I hope so. Maybe we should stop talking. Well, we're talking about electrolytes. That's okay for a fast, right?
Well, that's fine. But then our whole like conversation topic here today was allegedly going to be holiday recipes.
It was. Hopefully, it won't derail you. Sometimes when I'm, trying to fight off hunger or when I'm in kind of like a restrictive diet phase, sometimes I like looking at recipes.
Yeah.
Sometimes that helps me somehow.
Well, I can kind of see that just because if you're looking at recipes, you're not looking at them with the intent of having to decide on one of them. So instead, it's literally just to peruse for the sake of
Yeah,
entertainment and not decision fatigue situation.
true. Yeah, yeah. But it's funny, there's sometimes where it's like looking at recipes can be triggering if you're trying or,
Sure.
seeing commercials for certain things. But then there's other phases of, what my brain does in different phases of diet, and sometimes it's like, I just wanna cook all the food, but I'm not interested in eating any of it. I just wanna, like, pin all the recipes, but I'm not, like, actually eating it. It's weird. It's really weird. I
Yeah.
don't know. It's some brain thing
Humans
where I don't
are
know.
weird.
I don't know. Humans are weird. I wanted to say hi to Lynette.
Hi,
Second Lynette of the
Lynette.
day. Let's see. Carmen is here.
Hi.
Let's see. Good afternoon. It's a lovely 79 degrees here in North Carolina. Beautiful day. Hope everyone is doing well. 79 sounds pretty good to me right now. Oh, okay. Here's a good question. How are we about white chocolate versus milk chocolate? White just tastes like sweet, not even vanilla. Same was watching a pumpkin bread video before this. Oh, so okay, so you're watching the
Primed for food.
watching the recipes and that's okay. Yeah. Okay, so it depends on the white chocolate. I don't tend to just want to eat a bar of white chocolate. Like that's just not a thing. But if it's like we make the sour lemon truffles at Christmas and those are made with white chocolate but it's flavored with lemon. So it's more of a lemon flavor than a white chocolate flavor. So I feel like it's a good base for certain things. There was a chocolate bar we tried a while back and it was white chocolate with freeze-dried raspberries in it. That was really good. Um, so I don't mind it. I do enjoy occasional white chocolate with, things added. But usually if I have the choice, I'm choosing the milk chocolate or dark chocolate over white chocolate. What about you?
So I do not count white chocolate as chocolate,
Sure.
largely because they completely remove the cocoa from the butter. And so to me, white chocolate it's an anomaly. It's not really chocolate. So there's no verses for me.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Just a
But
completely different thing.
it's its own entity. It's literally a cocoa butter with sweetener, like vehicle for other flavors. Like that's
Yes.
what. So whenever you say that it tastes just like sweet, that's exactly right.
Yes.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah,
It's
it tastes like creamy sweetness.
That's right. But as far as like preferences on chocolate, the chocolate itself, like I will choose the darkest chocolate possible almost every time.
Okay. All right. I feel like I'm pretty in between with the milk and the dark. I don't go as dark as possible. I used to try to tell myself that that's what I liked the best because I thought that was the healthiest and, had the least sugar. So I'm like, yeah, that's the best one. I even went through a phase of trying to eat 100% chocolate because, people do that and they say, oh, once you get used to it, it tastes good. And I'm like, okay.
Well,
I
I
never
don't,
got there.
yeah, I would say like 92% is probably like where I could cap it off at.
Yeah.
But I also don't tend to taste the bitterness of like coffee. I don't taste bitter flavors very strongly. So whenever you have like a more bitter sweet chocolate or a true bitter chocolate, like it's not as it's not as intense to me. So that's one of the things that I think allows me to enjoy the dark chocolate better. I find that regular like milk chocolate is just like super creamy sweet to me.
Yeah. Yeah. I just don't discriminate. I will eat any chocolate and I will enjoy it in some way, shape, or form. Um, Low carb spin is here. Hello.
Hi.
Carmen says, not for me. Talk of food and looking at recipes makes me want to eat. I've got to keep busy if I'm fasting. Yep.
Oh no.
Okay. I want to, Joy is here. So a few weeks ago, I did a giveaway. And so Joy, I did not get the email. And a couple weeks ago, I had a message just like, email me. Maybe it got lost in the world of the internets. So Joy, if you could try emailing me again, make sure that there wasn't a typo or something. I'm going to put my email address in the chat so you can email me again and I will get you your goodies. And if you don't hear back from me, typing and talking is hard.
Agreed.
Yeah.
We are glad that you responded though.
You could try, if you have Instagram, you could try messaging me on Instagram. It's just at Indigo Neely.
Tappity tap tap.
Yes. So yeah, try to get in touch with me. I did not receive the message. And the other week we were like, Joy, are you here? Are you here? And then, but I'm glad that you're here now and that we can connect somehow. So try those two options and we'll figure it out. Sing It says dark chocolate hands down. 85% is dark enough. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Like I've tried all the way up to 100%, and I think 90 or 85% is about as dark as I, would love it. Although if you handed me a piece of 90%, I would eat it. like I said, I don't discriminate.
No, this is 5% more bitter than what I was expecting. Take it away.
It's still worth eating. Oh yeah, Sing It likes the bitter flavors. Coffee, chocolate, Brussels sprouts, spinach. Yeah.
Okay. I have that conversation frequently. Like he'll say something is bitter and I'm like, is it?
Yeah.
If you say, I'm going to trust you on that one, but that's not what I'm getting.
Right. Yeah. Everyone is different. Sometimes you're just like, I don't understand.
No.
I don't understand. Okay. So we should chat about some recipes.
Indeed.
Yeah. So if anyone watching has favorite holiday recipes, feel free to share them in the chat. I don't think you can put in links, but if there's some specific thing you need to Google or whatever, feel free to put that in the chat. Just say Google this and it should pop up. And I will try to put in links to the things that I talk about. Do you want to go first, Lindsey?
Yeah, sure. So I have a whole list of ideas here. And some of them are my recipes, some of them are non-recipes, and some, or at least one of them is your recipe. So I was thinking, what if we talked about like kind of like if we can keep this straight in our minds, like an appetizer to dessert kind of a concept.
Ooh, that's a good idea. Let me look.
Does that work?
Yeah.
So the first one I thought of appetizer wise was your sausage balls.
I have that on my list. You stole it.
I done stole it.
Yeah, those were such a good thing from last year that I was like, this just worked out.
But not only that, they are so freezer friendly. I
need to do that.
I have the little meatballer, which is like a silicone press where you fill the base of it with the entire, like one whole thing with the entire mixture. And then you put the little lid on it and you pop it in the freezer and it forms them into little hexagonal shaped meatballs. And then you just pop them out and bake them or air fry them or whatever. So it's like super make ahead friendly without like any grumblings from my people anyway. We loved that so
yes,
very much.
Everybody loved those. And I made several variations. I love the jalapeno popper variation.
Yeah.
Because it has like chopped up bacon in there and then the chopped up jalapenos that give it like this nice green pop. They're so good. And then I did a buffalo chicken one. Those ones are also very good. I used celery in there to give the little bit of vegetable and buffalo. You got to have the celery. So those ones are really good too. So those are some great options. I put the original one in the chat. So you can check that out. And so I bought one of those meatball makers after you showed it on your video, and then I have not used it since I bought it. And so that needs to be on my list of things to do.
Oh, for sure. 10 out of 10. And I feel like if actually I've got 3 pounds of sausage in the fridge right now, and I think I might go ahead and just like whip up a whole bunch of those bad boys and pop them in the freezer so that I have them available. And it's like one of those things that it's great for holiday period, just because like there's more activities going on. There's more opportunities for, hey, come over and, you know, we'll do something festive. And you're like, I can bring some sausage balls over to so-and-so's house and we can do our little fun activity and we can also eat something delicious. So.
Yes. Okay. Should we go back and forth?
I think that would be helpful. That was the only appetizer I had on my list.
Okay. Well, it might be the only appetizer I had on my list too. No, actually I have another one. Okay. This is a fun one for like, potlucks or having people over, and it's my cheesy queso dip.
That's technically an appetizer.
That's what I was thinking, because you could have it with chips. You could have it if you know, like I'm thinking like little crostinis or something, but you could have it with all kinds of different. You could do pork rinds.
Jared has entered the chat.
Yes, he has.
He likes the idea of the sausage balls being ready to go in the freezer.
Okay, so the queso dip, I get questions about this because there's a lot of keto cheese dips out there. And a lot of them are, they're really good right after you make them. But as soon as you put them in the fridge and try to store them, they turn back into a block of cheese.
Yeah.
A weird block of cheese. And the way that I make my queso dip is, it has other things in it. It has like broth and it has like salsa. And when you make it that way and use a thickener, so you have to use a keto thickener, when you make it that way, it's easy to pop in the fridge, pull some out, and it reheats and it's still a cheese sauce. So it is a good make ahead type thing. It's also good for, you know, just having in a crock pot on, you know, warm, and, you know, people can make nachos all day or whatever. So that's a really good one. And I actually have another variation of it that was bacon artichoke cheese dip.
Oh, yeah.
And I have the recipe for that on my blog, but I used a different thickener that's not keto on that one, but you could use the same thickener as in my keto version, and you could do the bacon artichoke version, and that's kind of a good appetizer type thing. I think I use like Monterey Jack cheese or something, so it's like white
Mm,
cheese with the bacon and it's so good.
that
So
sounds really good.
that's a great one.
I also really like the idea of having a queso dip and having it available for everybody. Like I think that's another thing is at these
Mhm.
gatherings, we're not concerned with only the people who eat keto. We're also concerned with the fact that this is a fellowship opportunity. So making sure
Mhm.
that these things are not just keto good, but that they're just flat out good. And having a queso dip is really awesome because you can either choose to do like cold vegetables like celery and cucumbers or pork rinds if you wanted to use pork rinds, but you can also just have like tortilla chips on
Exactly.
display for those who are fond of the tortilla chips and don't mind them.
Yes. I was just looking for that bacon artichoke one so I could put it in the chat as well. So you can go ahead and
So
oh,
for main courses, my thought process for meals, like for the main meat, was like prime rib roast with herbs, like slow roasting that. That one I did. I don't remember exactly. Was it last Christmas or 2 Christmases ago? It doesn't matter. But doing a prime rib roast was amazing. It's kind of pricey though, if it's not on sale. But I loved that. A less expensive version would be a pork loin roast. And then also obviously like turkey, but not just turkey. You got to smoke turkeys because smoked turkey adds all the flavor. Did you have any like main meat
okay.
options?
Um, so I have to go back and look at what I actually have here. So one thing that I pulled up was my soup and bread of the week playlist.
Oh
A couple
yeah.
years ago, I did a series where I made an egg white bread variation and a soup, a keto soup. So these ones are all keto friendly, and I think there's 7 videos, and so each one recipes in it. And I'll just link to that playlist if I can,
Yeah.
and that'll give you some ideas. So like hatch green chili soup with cheddar and bacon breadsticks, um,
I remember
coconut.
you did a challah or a challah bread, challah.
Yes,
I can't
yes.
pronounce it properly, but
Yeah,
I
I
remember you
had a
did that
mold
one.
that looks like the braided loaf. That one's really fun. Let's see, coconut milk buns. Those ones are so good. If you've never like something crazy happens with the coconut milk powder, it's crazy. So anyways, coconut milk buns and massaman curry soup with pork. Let's see. I have the keto challah bread, and then that the soup with that one was red pepper soup with basil.
Mm,
Um, I made some baguettes, and then a beef stew, a keto beef stew, pesto pull-apart rolls, with sausage squash soup. That would be perfect for this time of year. Um,
yeah.
corned beef and cabbage soup I did at, St. Patrick's Day, and I tried to make an Irish soda bread, and it was fun to try, but
It tried.
I wouldn't say it was anything to write home about. Yeah. So that was those are main dishes, or they're great for, like, taking to a potluck, things like that, at get-togethers.
Or as the aftermath from a holiday meal, like if you did a big
Right.
giant a beef roast or something like that, you can easily use that in a soup without having to feel like you're just trying to reheat meat into shoe leather.
Mm, yeah. Yeah,
Good.
oh, man, I make, like, all the leftovers soup. So, if I have taco meat left over or beans or, like, a half a thing of salsa that needs to get used up, or, like, half an onion, you just go in the fridge and you pull out everything that needs to get used up, and you're like, "What kind of soup could I make out of this?" And it
I'll
works
take
out
you
great.
and you and you and you.
Yeah. It usually is delicious somehow.
Very, very good.
Yes. Alright. What do you have next?
So side dishes perhaps?
Okay. Oh, I do have another, main dish,
Oh yeah?
and that is cranberry pork roast, and I also
Oh, that's in
have
your cookbook, isn't it?
I think
There's
the one in the
something
cookbook
cranberry
is
in your
cranberry chicken. It's the same idea, but with
okay.
chicken instead of pork. Yeah, so you can totally do a chicken also. So I have a recipe on my blog for honey sweetened cranberry sauce, which you can totally make with allulose easily. And then it would be pretty keto friendly because cranberries are pretty low in carbs. And so I have that and I will put that in the chat. Let's see. Boop, 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 boop. And then with that, with the leftover sauce after Thanksgiving, it's great to make either cranberry chicken or cranberry pork. I do it in the Instant Pot. And I have that recipe as well. Yeah, it's so good. Like the tang of the cranberries and like the fatty pork is just like, oh my gosh.
I tell you what, if I had to choose between like raisins or craisins growing up, I was always going to choose the craisins because that tartness in the craisins was so satisfying.
Yes. Okay. Those are in the chat. And I think that is all of my main dish stuff.
Okay. Excellent. So for side dishes, there's, like some baseline staples. For that, like, your favorite roasted vegetables or green bean bundles. But the one I thought of was my funeral potatoes, but it's ketoified using the KetoChow baked potato. That one came to mind pretty quick.
Yeah. That sounds amazing. I didn't have any bookmarked side dishes. I'm trying to.
That's okay. I've got one more here.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
That would be my low carb dressing, sausage dressing. Yeah. That video is from like 5+ years ago. So I want to go in and update that one at some point. And I forgot to put sage in that one. So add sage to that recipe, just as a side note, which is another reason why I want to update it at some point. But sausage dressing was always one of my top favorite food items, looking forward to like holiday season, that my grandma would make. So I did my spin on her sausage dressing and it's delicious. I love it.
Okay, I found this is kind of an appetizer or a side dish. I made a feta pink peppercorn bread dip. This is another one where it works for if you have mixed company, people that eat regular bread. And I made it, of course, with egg white bread. But it is so good. So good. It has rosemary and basil and oregano and then pink peppercorns. Like they're something special. Yeah. And then the feta in there, it's really good. Anyways, I'll put that in and that's, side dish or a appetizer, that kind of thing.
So Carmen just asked if I have a website and I just left you. I'm so sorry. It's plug it in. I'm so sorry. That's my website right there in the chat, wherever that is for you. It's just myname.com. And not all of my recipes are on there because I didn't really start doing consistent anything on there. So it's really just like a landing site for printable recipes whenever I had the opportunity to put them into printable format. So don't expect everything to be there. Neely is so much better at the admin side than I am.
That's true at all.
Well, you're more consistent at being better at it. How about that? Consistency matters.
Yeah, consistency is a thing. Okay. So I don't have any more side dishes. I'm trying to think if there's any that just come to mind that are.
So I love green bean bundles. Like whenever you take, like a little, clump of fresh green beans and wrap them up with a piece of bacon. I recommend using regular cut bacon rather than thick cut bacon so that it actually cooks through properly. But I love that one. And fried Brussels sprouts in tallow. Actually not just like pan frying them, but like deep frying them. Oh,
that's really good.
And as you like scoop them out, you salt them and just plain old salt, like plain old real salt. So amazing.
Well, now I'm getting hungry.
Oh, I had a couple of other ideas. So, the elote corn, like Mexican straight corn.
Uh-huh.
So one of my friends here in town, she actually does elote style carrots that she does on her smoker. They are to die for. I mean, she'll make like a 5-pound quantity of these
Mm,
things and they are gone in moments.
mm.
And so elote style any vegetable is on my list here, whether it's like the carrots or Brussels sprouts or any root vegetables.
Mhm.
I do feel this could be a side tangent that we maybe talk about like next week. But on those like more special meals, those holiday meals, like we can go to tremendous lengths to make sure everything is ketoified or low carbified or however, you choose to eat. But we can also practice a little bit of relaxed behaviors for those times. And I wouldn't typically eat buckets of roasted vegetables that are root vegetables like sweet potatoes or
Right.
carrots or beets. But in the holiday meal, whenever it's put in its place for me, I can easily do that and enjoy it and then keep moving about my business.
Right.
So I think that might be an interesting conversation for
Yeah,
the
that would be. It kinda ties into some other stuff that I've been thinking about, so we can we can dive into that next week.
sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
Oh, Blaze, I plumb forgot about deviled eggs.
Ooh, that's a good idea. Yeah.
All the deviled eggs,
Yeah,
always. They're just flat, always. 100%.
true.
Perfect appetizer, perfect main dish, perfect dessert. It's fine.
Um, so of course, if you've watched my channel for a while, you know that at the holidays we have bacon wrap dates is one of our holiday traditions that will never die. It's funny. I think it was Renee the other day. She was like, we were talking about what we were gonna have for dinner, and she was like, "Can you make bacon wrap dates?" And I was like,
Well, I can, but I'm not gonna right
I
now.
I had the meme come into my head of, Boromir, like, "One does not simply make bacon wrap dates in the middle of October. That is just not what is done." So, we decided a long time ago that that's the kind of food for just the holidays, and we do it twice a year because we do it Thanksgiving and at Christmas, but we just that's the kind of food you just can't eat every day
Yeah.
if you want to stay healthy. But once or twice a year, it's extremely healthy, and because we all
Oh,
love it,
yeah.
and it brings us lots of joy, and we have togetherness, and everyone gets excited about it, so, yeah. Anyways, so I will mention that one, but it's not exactly like, "Stay keto friendly and add this to your your holiday."
Add dates to your
That
diet.
that would be one of those special treats that you would use your discretion about if that would be right for you or not. Ask your doctor if bacon wrap dates are right for you.
My goodness.
Yes.
My aunt did some cheese stuffed bacon wrapped dates either last Christmas when we went to Texas or the year before that at Thanksgiving. And I was like, listen here, I need you to like either remove me from the kitchen or remove these from the kitchen because this is not going to end well for anybody. And if anybody wants those dates, I am come
Yeah.
take them now or take me away because I'm about to eat them all.
Yes. Oh, bacon
Good
wrap
stuff.
dates stuffed with goat cheese. Mm.
That's what they were. And I think she may have had some kind of like nuts or something like that around it, or they were just on the counter somewhere. And I was like, this is a problem for me.
Mm.
But those sound amazing. Right now, I would probably eat 12 dozen right
Mhm.
now.
Easy to do. Easy to do.
So,
Okay, Carmen
and they
says,
have all
oh, go
flavors.
ahead. I
I was
know
gonna
it's like everything all in
It's
one box.
not too much sweetness. It's not too much saltiness. It's not too much creaminess. It's not too much of any one sort of like flavor.
I
I,
see, it's the ultra processed food manufacturers are trying to get that bliss point of food
they're trying so
when
hard. They fail.
and they still fail. Like, they get something that's addictive, but it's not a bacon wrap teriyaki date or goat
It's
cheese wrap. It's just not. Sorry. Carmen says, last year I made sweet potato casserole using butternut squash. That sounds really good. Used no non-keto people knew it wasn't real sweet potatoes. Yeah.
Fantastic.
That's always the best recipes where you don't have to explain them.
You just put it out there and they're
You
just
just
like,
put
this
it
is
out and
fantastic.
people appreciate it for what it is. That's the best.
So I did have the thought process of like, like a lot of people love mashed potatoes. So
Mhm.
obviously one of the logical versions would be to do mashed cauliflower. But that doesn't
Not a lot
usually
of people love mashed
fly.
cauliflower.
But I gosh, it must have been, Caitlin is what, almost 14. So it was like 12 years ago. I saw this trick of where you take one small potato that you boil and then you mash that with cauliflower to
Mhm.
get the right texture. And if you're willing to splurge on carbs for that special meal, doing it that way, you can still kind of get that potatoiness. Or if you use like a baked potato flavor drops and maybe a little bit of oat fiber for that kind of like starchy texture or something to that effect, or KetoChow baked potato soup. Or,
Mhm.
like there's ways to get that, but
Yeah.
that's one of those ones that you're not trying to, you're not going to convert anybody with mashed cauliflower.
Right. Yeah. No, I don't think anyone has ever been converted with mashed cauliflower. Sorry.
I
It's
mean,
one
I
of the
love mashed cauliflower for what it is. It is mashed
Yeah.
cauliflower, but it's
Yeah.
not potato.
No, 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 no. I mean, potatoes are really something special. And,
Yeah.
so yeah, and we've talked about this before where it's like there are certain recipes that we make in the keto world that their only value is that they remind you a little bit of the other thing that you can't have anymore.
Yeah.
And then there are other recipes that come along where maybe they started that way, like they just started as a substitute for something else, but they have value in and of themselves. And those are the recipes that we hold on to and we
Dearly.
continually make. I always say the protein breading that I make, that's one of them where it started out as, a carb-free, high protein breading, and it turned into like a staple in our house for everyone, even though, most of the people in the house don't eat low carb and,
Right.
Emphasize protein as much as others do.
Right.
It's just become a regular thing, not a diet food, if that makes sense. So there are so the and I feel like I went through a different phases of diet where at the beginning you're just like, I just want my old diet back. And so I'm going to do all of these different things that are, reminiscent of that. And then like I quickly learned that they're just not good. Like a lot of
Yeah.
them are just not good. And so it's like I don't really need them because I don't really need that reminder anymore. You kind of like move past it. So it's great, it's great to play with the recipes and
Sure.
find and then you do find those special ones that do end up being part of you know, your diet from
Your
there on
everyday
out.
life.
But you just like I just got to the point where I was like, well, I just don't need it. I just don't need to do that.
Not
Whole
that way.
foods are
Yeah.
actually really delicious
It's
and,
amazing, right?
you know, have fun, but enjoy whole foods as well. So it's like,
That's right.
instead of making mashed cauliflower and trying to make a potato,
Mm-hmm.
maybe just roast some broccoli and carrots and,
Roasted vegetables are so
roasted
incredible.
cauliflower. It's
So
like I would take roasted cauliflower over a cauliflower mashed potato substitute any day. It's like
yes.
let it shine and be what it is.
Yeah. Oh,
Like
and then
more
if you make
cauliflower.
some kind of like a sauce to go on top of it that's maybe got like some paprika in it, some mayonnaise, some spice to it somewhere. Let
Yeah.
it be its thing. Or
Yeah.
elote style, like getting that cotija cheese on there. Mm.
Yeah. And so if you have a table spread with, delicious roast turkey and ham and green bean casserole and your elote vegetables and, roasted this or that, no one's going to notice that the mashed potatoes aren't there.
That's
Like, if
right.
that's really it's like you don't have to have it. There
Yeah.
are so many other amazing, and you could have like a delicious salad with blue cheese or feta cheese. You like you can have a feast without these things.
That's right.
And sometimes you have to like break out of this mindset where it's like, no, we have to have a mashed potato at Thanksgiving. You don't.
What else is going
You
to
don't.
soak up that gravy? Come on now.
Yeah. Anyways, that's a
Um,
long rant.
I kind of like I accidentally hit the enter button on that
Oh,
last comment that I made, but let's hold off on that one for a second.
okay, okay.
When it comes to bread, usually there's rolls at the table,
Mm,
and your soup and bread playlist
mhm.
has buckets of different bread options. But
Yep.
I was also specifically thinking about Amy from Carnivore's Angel, or I don't know. I don't know
Angel's
what
Journey.
Angel's Journey. That's
Yep,
what she
yep,
changed to.
yep, yep.
Her Hawaiian rolls are a
Excellent.
phenomenal option if you are in fact trying to, not indulge to the degree of carb coma.
Yeah.
Uh,
Those are all the egg white breads are another one that's not gonna fool anybody.
no.
Like, it's not gonna but if you are keto and, like or your family is keto and you want something that's reminiscent of bread, I wouldn't recommend just taking it to a regular, group of eaters and expecting them to think it's bread.
but
Even though it wasn't bread,
but
but it's really good.
making some for yourself and
Yeah.
then stashing a few in a Ziploc bag to take with
Yep.
you, that's a valid option.
Yeah. Oh, totally. Yeah. Um,
Did you have any other sides or any other like main course type of things to work through? Obviously, like a charcuterie board is going to be one that goes over gangbusters. You can do anything with that, or like a
easy.
DIY like bar.
Yes.
Whether it's a baked potato bar, but you're doing it over roasted cauliflower or whatever. That type of thing
Yeah.
will always go over well.
Yeah. A lot. I mean, with most holidays, the main dish is typically
Meat.
friendly to everyone,
Yeah.
unless you're vegan. So yeah, that one I feel like as far as the dinner itself,
Yes.
that's usually the easiest part, I think. I think it's more desserts and sides that people struggle with.
Yeah. So, did you have a list of desserts that you
I
wanted to discuss?
do. I do. So again, if you've watched my channel for a while, you know our tradition is to make chocolate truffles every year, and we don't make them keto. Um, and so that's a fun thing that we like to do to give as gifts and stuff. I do have a keto version that I should pull up that video actually. Um, and they're fine. The chocolate um keto chocolate doesn't work quite as well
Yeah.
as regular chocolate, but it's doable and they're fine.
Well, and I think like Lily's chocolate chips are generally sort of like the standard of sugar-free chocolate chips in this world of low carb keto friendly. I also really like the idea of buying just straight cocoa butter and adding your own sweetener to it and then going from there. It takes a lot more work and it's not straightforward, but also my husband reminds me people like simple and straightforward. So
What?
I, d- I think of like, oh, how could I just do this from single ingredient options? Whereas like Lily's chocolate chips are not necessarily
Yeah.
they've done the hard work for you, but I'm like, no, I need to do this myself somehow. But
Yeah.
there are ways, I guess, that you could possibly do that more challenging. But any
Yeah.
kind of fat
And
bomb would be great.
there are allulose sweetened chocolate chips now. Trader Joe's is carrying a dark chocolate allulose chocolate chip. So there's some other
That's
options that
cool.
have come out since I've played with that recipe, so it might be worth playing with.
But
Yeah.
it might be one of those ones where you're like, it's worth it to me to eat 2 of these truffles
Right.
at this meal and then carry on with my life after the fact,
Right.
especially if it's literally not it's for just like overall feeling well or losing weight or maintaining weight. compared to, you know, like if you have an actual allergy to something or some major thing that you're trying to overcome.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's okay to make a choice. I shared a chocolate silk pie. We tend to have lots of like desserts at my family's table. So like the chocolate silk pie. And then also I did a spiced cheesecake. Like, I don't remember if it was
Ooh.
5 years ago, maybe 6 years ago. I can't quite remember off the top of my head, but that one makes me think of fall every time. So I've got a spiced cheesecake that's quite tasty.
Honestly, cheesecake is the best keto dessert ever. I mean, I don't see how anyone could argue with that.
I agree.
And there are so many options.
It is not the best if you overmix your eggs into it and then it turns
Well,
into a souffle that falls. But when it's done,
yeah,
according to procedures,
yes.
it's
So
challenging to beat that.
you can do so many different flavors. You can keep it fruity. You can do I have a chocolate peppermint
Oh, whenever you did all of those different ones.
yes. And then I have a chai spice one. There's just so many. You can do anything with cheesecakes, and they're so easy to make keto. And they're one of those rare desserts where if you make it keto, regular people will probably still like it. You know, especially if you use allulose or something like that, something that doesn't have a strong aftertaste as far as sweetener goes. Like, no one's gonna complain about their keto cheesecake. Seriously, it's so
That's
good.
right. That's right.
Yeah, so there are lots of recipes out there. I didn't put, I don't have a link to a specific recipe, but there are lots of options out
Yeah,
there.
whenever you did that variety of different
Mhm.
cheesecakes using the perfect keto stuff, I was like,
Yeah.
I would like, yes.
Mhm.
Also that one, but
Mhm.
also that one too.
Mhm.
Could I have that
I
now?
ate so much cheesecake when I was working on those recipes. Oh, man. And
Oh,
that's why I said it was crazy because I was developing the recipes and eating cheesecake every day. I didn't gain any weight. I was like, "In what other time, anybody else that's, like, working on cheesecake recipes,
you're like,
how
you start to
can they
see it
say
in your
that?"
cheeks a little bit. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, you got a little retention happening there, but
Yeah,
it's
and so
fine.
that would be, like, my base recipe that I would because you don't have to use the perfect keto,
No.
MCTO powder or collagen powder. You can use that base recipe and add all different flavorings, different like, if you have other stuff, I mean, I wonder if the Equip powder would work,
Oh
um,
yeah.
you know, and you don't even have I don't even know that you have to use a powder in there. You could still just use the base recipe as is and add your own extracts or lemon zest or, whatever, and you could do anything with that cheesecake recipe. It's amazing.
Yes.
Let's see. Suzanne says, "I love making KetoChow fudge." That's another one that's really good.
I
As well
yeah.
as well as Serious Keto's candied pecans. I haven't made those, but that sounds really good.
I've never made like his specific recipe, but I've made tons of candied pecans in my lifetime.
Yes. Yep.
And it's so easy to ketoify that.
Yeah, that's another one that's really
I
good.
love the idea of having kind of like a dessert smorgasbord where you just have like a
Mhm.
few of things. Like, so you have maybe like a half of a recipe of some keto chow fudge cut up into little squares, and maybe you have some fresh berries, and maybe you have some candied pecans, or,
Mm.
maybe
Like
add a
a
little bit of,
dessert charcuterie board.
I mean, I love that plan. And that's so easy to ketoify or sugar freeify or however you see fit. But,
Yep.
oh,
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 yes, and when we were in Utah, um, who was it that brought the little peanut butter bars?
was that Marie?
Probably. I think it
Marie,
was.
Marie,
And Marie Campos.
that's right.
Yes, and she brought the brownies too, but, like, they were just cute little peanut butter bars with a chocolate layer on top. That would be another one that would be really good
100%.
in the dessert board. Oh, so good. Carmen says, "Angel's rolls are the bomb." They are included in any big meal. Yeah, that's a great idea. Even made them into a loaf for my husband. He enjoyed it more than any other egg white bread. Yeah,
That's
that is
awesome.
an excellent recipe. Oh, this is a good idea. When we have done family reunions with the family, we have done barbecue as an alternative because many of us do multiple turkey days with other sides of the family. Yeah.
I
I mean,
like it.
turkey's fine once a year, but you don't want to, overdo the turkey.
Well, and that for me is where like that prime rib roast thing, whenever like Safeway was or not Safeway, it's Kroger here. They were having those on sale. I was like, so good.
Yeah.
Horseradish sauce, please. Can
Oh
I
my
have some?
gosh, yes.
All
Oh,
of it. I
so
need I
good.
need all of that beef action. Yes.
Yes. Carrie is here. Hello, Carrie. Sing It made it to her lunch hour. We did it.
Woohoo!
Yay! All right, tell us what you're having. She's probably already gone to go eat, but
Maybe.
if you're
Maybe.
still here, tell us what you're having. We'd love to know. All right.
Um, we've done it. We actually
We
got through an
really have.
entire holiday menu. Lots
One
of
last
options.
one that I'll throw in here, and this one actually would be a good, like, brunch or holiday breakfast, and that's the salted caramel pecan cake that I did, with the Equip Prime Protein. It, it has pecans, eggs, salted caramel, Equip. I mean, it's a really, as long as you can do nuts, it's a really clean, recipe, and it would be perfect for,
Like a
like,
coffee cake almost.
yeah, coffee cake, like a
After dinner coffee cake. Yes.
yes, or a brunch, Christmas morning, like, it's super good. It's like I was so, like, happy with
Please
it
with that.
because it didn't taste diet food. It tasted like legit, like, this is one that you could feed to all the regular people, and they probably wouldn't know.
Regular approved. When you first started to say saw, I thought you were gonna say sardines, and I was gonna have to disown you and cut the whole live stream off.
Nope. Nope. Get this recipe in here.
That sounds amazing. I've got I've got like my list here of all my different holiday
Quality.
recipes that I wanted to touch on, and we have literally hit on all of them. So, oh, you have your cranberry sauce. So I looked up KetoChow. They also have a cranberry sauce.
Ooh, excellent.
And then that got me questioning, like, what is the actual count on cranberries? So for every
Oh my God.
100 grams of cranberries, there are 12 total carbs. So that's pretty awesome, given the fact that you're not eating cups and cups of cranberry sauce, I don't think. And usually it's more of a garnish or
Yeah, yeah, and it
side.
really adds a lot.
It adds so much flavor. But they were using orange juice in theirs, which adds another probably 7 carbs given the volume. But I was thinking
KetoChow recipe?
that's KetoChow's recipe.
Okay, does it have KetoChow in it?
No, actually,
Oh,
it was just on their website because like they've got a gazillion different recipes
yeah,
on their website.
right.
But I was thinking, what if instead of using orange juice, you used like some sort of a lemon juice or a lime juice or something like that, but then you added in some of the orange salt or the zesty orange from the electrolyte packets to kind of give that orange to it. So
Yeah,
that was
you could
in mind.
also do orange zest.
Sure.
In my recipe, I think I know there's at least orange zest. I don't know if I used orange juice or not, but
Okay.
yeah, that's all good ideas. It's gonna be yeah, and using the allulose, you're gonna get the sugar effect. It's gonna be amazing.
But also get that blood sugar reducing effect.
Oh, crazy. So crazy.
Okay. We have made it towards the end, and Carmen asks a fantastic question, which is, will the chat stay after the live stream? I believe it does, but
Mhm.
also I am going to try to go pull all of these different links that we've shared today and add them to my video description.
Okay.
And I have a feeling that Neely might get to do that too. That way we've got access to that on either replay, whichever one you choose to look at.
Yeah,
Because I don't think you can click on the links. Maybe can you click on the links in the replay chat?
I think so. I think
Oh,
so. If
then
the
maybe I
link
don't have to
is
do that.
well, yeah, so what you'll have to do is well, sometimes it takes a little bit of time
2
after the
hours.
video posts. So if you come back to the video really quickly, you might not see the live replay yet, but it should come eventually. And then you'll have to kind of scroll through. And if you go to the end of the video, you'll have the whole live chat. If you start at the
Mhm.
beginning, it goes in real time with the video. Does that make
Yeah.
sense? So if
Yeah.
you go to the end of the video, then you'll have the whole chat that you can scroll through, and you should be able to get to all of the recipes.
Links.
But it would be
Very
helpful if we just yeah, if we just went through and got them all into the description for everybody, we could probably do that.
maybe. We'll see if we can squeeze that into the schedule. But
Yes.
good times.
Okay, I wanna say hi to Michelle. She made it at the end of the live stream. I'm glad you made it, though. All right, we will hop off of here next week. What were we gonna talk about?
Just the concept that at holiday times, like for special meals, if you choose to, like, is it more valuable for you to stick rigidly to your eating style, your eating plan, or is there an opportunity to be a little more relaxed for that one meal or for that one set designated situation?
Right.
And what maybe the value add for either side, maybe there's
Yeah,
more value for sticking firmly in your lane, and maybe there are benefits that you haven't considered with just enjoying the day as it stands.
yeah. All right, there we go. That'll be next week.